Good morning, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a stitch with me. We are doing a new start today. Shocker, I know. This is going to be from my Cross Stitch for the Heart book by Emma Congdon. It is available on Amazon. All of her books are. I have 3 of them. She has a 4th one out that's cat related, cat themed, that I do not have yet. And this is the project we're going to be starting. So it doesn't really have a name. I'm just calling it Reason Someone Smiles. But real quick before we get started, I just wanted to show you some of the pieces that she has in this book. I like them all. I'm eventually going to stitch all of them because, you know, why not? So, yeah. Anyway, this is the one we're going to be starting today. I'll be starting in the middle, so it's going to be like right here in the sun's face. So, give me 1 second. Let me get this set up over here. Okay. So somebody had asked me to show the loop method in a little bit more detail. So what I do is take a piece of thread, right? And I typically make it longer than I would like if I was working a single strand. I basically double it, double the length. And you take the ends of the thread and put them together and not pull them apart. You put them together. So you have the ends on one side and the other end is a loop. And then you thread the ends into the eye of the needle. Like so. So you have the ends in the tail and the loop at the other end, okay? And then you pick your spot. Now, I stitch differently based on where the stitches are placed and where the end of, like, the last leg ends up. But I'm normally a bottom left to top right and then bottom right to top left. That's my normal stitch. So basically it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 1 would be where you come up with the bottom leg. 2 would be where you go down on the bottom leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down at 2, pull it through, come up at 1 like I would a normal stitch, catch the loop with my thread, and then just pull. So now it's kind of caught in there, right? And then you go, everyone said, like, I think some people say you have to go down in one or the other. I've gone down on both. It does not matter. You can either go back down at 1 or down at 2. And then you just kind of pull it so that tiny little bit of loop pulls through to the back. And then you just do your top leg like normal. And voila. And then on the back, it looks like that. Okay. One moment while I 3, 6, hold on. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I'm going to double check that before I go to the next row. So, and I'll show the loop start again when I change colors. I will try to remember, and I'm just doing this on a 14 count white Aida. I will try to remember to, I just realized I did not do a description box for any of, or for the last floss tube that I just posted. None whatsoever. It's blank, but you know what? It's fine. It's whatever. If you guys have questions about the pieces, you can always just ask me in the comment section. But I will try to remember to link this little guy, my little tally counter, in the description box. What I should do, if I was a prudent floss tuber, would be to link all the stuff that I use in every video. But I don't, because I'm a slacker. But yeah, so. And then these little magnet holders here, right here, my mom gave them to me for Christmas. I've seen them on Amazon to hold your fabric. My mommy yelled at me and told me to use them. On my last one, she was like, use the fabric holders I got you for Christmas. I was like, yes, Mom. All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Just making sure that was right. I'm going to work down the sun because I want to get to the little face. This is only part of it. So anyway, let's see. The weather this weekend has been pretty rough. It's been raining. It's kind of cold outside. I was going to go to the store and get some food right before I started filming. And got dressed, got my shoes on, took a step outside so I could lock the door, and it was raining. So I turned around and came back in. Because I do not like to shop when it's raining outside. I mean, it doesn't matter when you're inside, you know, but I don't want to be walking out to my car with my cart of groceries and it's raining and then having to get home and unload the bags out of the trunk when it's raining. Nobody likes that, especially when it's cold and raining. Like, that just sucks. Then you're wet and you're cold. And just, ugh. So, I'm going to wait till later. It'll give me time to think about what I want anyway. Me and my coworker, we are boycotting the cafeteria at work because it's expensive. Like, you could easily spend like between $10 and $15. Whoops, I just bumped the camera with my head. You could easily spend between $10 and $15 on lunch. And it is, I mean, now some of their stuff that they make is very good. I will say that. But for the most part, it's like, it sustains me until my next meal. So it's like, if I'm going to spend money on food, then I want it to be like, wow, that was really good. So I have some sweet potatoes. I have a couple sweet potatoes here already. And I have regular potatoes I need to use up before they turn and start growing eyeballs. And I have rice. So I was going to get some chicken and some other veggies of some sort. Maybe do like dice up the potatoes, like both the regular and the sweet potatoes, and throw them in the oven to roast them. And then do some kind of like chicken and veggie, not Asian stir fry, but chicken and veggie, like kind of stir fries something or other to put over the potatoes. Or just season them and saute them in some oil and then just mix them with the potatoes or something. I gotta think of stuff that's like, or maybe I'll do it all separate or something. My problem is when I'm trying to like plan my food when I'm by myself is, which I think I've mentioned this before, is I don't like to eat the same thing every single day. So it's like I can't necessarily make the food and eat it for 5 days straight. It's just gross to me. Yeah, well, not really gross. I get tired of it. So all right, we're getting into the little eye. So let me make sure I do this right. What did I make for the boys last week? Since I love talking about food so much. I made, I had picked up some of the pre-made, like the refrigerated ravioli. It was a mozzarella and ricotta flavored ravioli. And I made chicken parmesan. Well, Lachlan made chicken parmesan. My younger son, I taught him, I like kind of showed him how to do it. Because he's still in the mindset that he wants to be a chef when he grows up. And, you know, cooking is a great life skill. So, me and Lachlan made chicken parmesan and the ravioli one night. And let's see. We did $5 sushi one night. Publix has sushi. Certain rolls of their sushi for $5 every Wednesday. And it happened to be Wednesday, and we were going to the store to get some chicken for the chicken parmesan, and they saw the $5 sushi sign, and both of them were like, hey, can we do $5 sushi and do the chicken parmesan tomorrow? I'm like, ugh, all right, fine, because that means I don't have to cook. And I made chicken fried steak. Ooh, can I get 2 more stitches out of this? I made chicken fried steak. I'll tell you guys how to make it in a minute. Hang on. Let's see if I might get one more. Come on. Ooh, playing thread chicken for reals. Mainly because this little section right here just has the 4 stitches there. There we go. Somebody was asking me about how to keep a back neat. Well, when you're, not all my backs look like this. When you're doing block stitching like this, it is not hard to do. I just realized I left my needle minder on my lamp here. Hang on. The camera might shake for a second. I have my camera attached to my magnifier lamp, and my needle minder was on it, so I had to move it. Okay. Let me double check that color. Is that 996? Yeah. I'll just use this little thread. Okay, so loop start again, and then we'll talk about chicken fried steak. Loop start again. take the two ends and you put them together. I'm just doing this little eye right here, so I don't need a very long piece. Ends at one end, loop at the other. Thread your needle with the ends. So at the tail are the ends and the end of your thread is the loop, right? And then you go down it, make sure this is in the camera, down at 2, up at 1, catch your loop, pull, and then the first one I did down at 2, this one I'm going to do down at 1 to show you it can be done either way. And then pull your thread through. And there you go. So, chicken fried steak. I feel I made more stuff. I just don't remember what I made. But chicken fried steak is basically steak that's been fried like you would fry chicken. Very popular in the South. But you basically dredge and you use cube steak that's been pounded out. You got to pound out the cube steak so it's thin, so it cooks evenly, but also, all right, well, I got more thread and I want to do more. So let me, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me start on this little smile. So you have to pound the cube steak out so it's thin, but also to help tenderize it because it can be very tough. So I try to get my cube steak already pounded out, like the more expensive grocery store, Publix, sells it like that. Walmart has cube steak, but it's not pounded out. But I live on the second floor of an apartment, so I can't really pound the cube steak out because my neighbor downstairs would have a shit fit. I try to be mindful of the people below me. So I bought the cube steak from Walmart, but I didn't pound it out. So it was a little tough. So I told the boys, I said, next time we do chicken fried steak, I will just get it from Publix because it already comes pounded out. And if it's not thin enough, then you can always ask the butcher to, or the people at the meat counter, you can always ask them to pound it out flatter for you. They'll do that. So anyway, what we did was and there's a few different ways that you can make this. This is just one way that I do it. You mix some egg and milk together to make your wet. And then you, your dry is flour, and you can season it however you want to. All I did this last time was I just dumped a crap ton of seasoned salt in it, but you can season it with whatever you want. Garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder. I mean, possibilities are endless. But this time I just did flour and seasoned salt. Because, I mean, honestly, I hadn't made chicken fried steak in forever. And I kind of forgot how to. So I looked this recipe up online. But now that I made it, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I remember how to do it again. And you dip the steak in the egg mixture. And then you dunk it in well, actually, proper would be flour, really. Because the flour will stick to the meat, and then the egg sticks to the flour, and then the flour sticks to the egg. Or breadcrumbs, if you were doing breadcrumbs, like on chicken. So, and then you just pour some oil in a pan. You don't need like a big deep fryer. You just need like maybe a couple inches of oil in the pan. And you just fry the steaks up until they're golden brown. And it is served with if you see chefs do it on TV, they're like, oh, I made this to go with it. And it's not like a white gravy. It's typically served with like a white pepper gravy. Not white pepper, but a white gravy with pepper in it. And man, it is so good. Oh my God. But I made that. And for the life of me, I don't remember. It wasn't mashed potatoes. Usually you do like mashed potatoes with it. But I didn't do mashed. Oh, we made the box of au gratin potatoes. Scallop potatoes, whatever. We made that with it. That's what we did. So I didn't feel like making mashed potatoes. Because my kids are foodies. And they do not allow me to make instant potatoes. I have to make it from scratch. And I didn't feel like doing that. Which probably would have used up my alien potatoes in the pantry. But it's fine. And God, what else did I make? I don't remember. Somebody had mentioned chicken piccata in a comment. I might make that for them next week. They're getting a bit better about eating veggies. So I'm going to probably do some type of stir fry next week when I get them back. I feel like we did something and we had pot stickers with it. I remember making pot stickers. But for the life of me, I don't remember what we had with it that I made the pot stickers for. Because we didn't have any leftovers. We ate it all. Man. Wow, I'm having a brain fart. I'm going to have to write this down. I'm going to have to start writing this stuff down. I remember getting the pot stickers, and we got 2 boxes of them because my kids love pot stickers, as do I. So we got 2 boxes of pot stickers, and we ate all of it. Plus what we actually ate. What was the meal, though? Huh. I don't remember. Oh, man. It's funny, I can't remember stuff like that, but people at work joke that I have an elephant brain because I remember the weirdest things about, like, our patients. I remember patients we had this guy come in for a consult for skin cancer on his nose. And I was looking at his chart before he had come in, and I was like, and it was set up like he was a brand new patient. And I looked at the name, I was like, I remember this guy was here last year for the same thing. And they were like, was he? I was like, yeah. So I was like, it was like early to mid, like late spring. He was here for skin cancer on his nose. And so when our computer system archives, because we work off of the main hospital's computer system, and the system will archive accounts after a certain time. So if it's been a while since they've been here, they'll show up as a brand new patient until they register, and then you can pull up their old records. It's stupid. Like, if they haven't been there in like, I don't know, at least 6 months, it'll archive them, and we can't pull them up in the computer. It's so dumb. I can't stand our system is so archaic, and it looks like a DOS system from like 1986. like, you know, like on the Commodore 64, like before they even had the mouse and you had to like enter like control commands and everything. That's what basically that system looks like. It's so dumb. And the hospital, the hospital's like, oh, this is such a great system. And nobody freaking likes it. Not one single person. But anyway, once he registered and he came in for his appointment, the girls at the desk pulled him up just to see. And they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. But whenever anybody has a question about a patient that had come a while ago or what the plan was or something, they always ask me, they're like, hey, Jen, get your elephant brain out and see if you remember this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I can remember that stuff, but I can't remember what I made the kids for dinner last week. I really don't remember. So anyway. Did I make them breakfast last? No, I didn't make breakfast last Sunday. I should, though. I should do that this Sunday. All right, let me see. Now we're getting into his little cheek. So how many am I doing here? 3. So yeah, I think I might try that chicken piccata that somebody had mentioned. I bet they would like that. I still have not made the grilled cheese and tomato soup that Lachlan will mention from time to time. I probably could do that if I think about it. I don't know, it's like I know how to make so much stuff, but I get into a rut and I just make the same crap over and over and over again. I could do a pot of chili. Ooh, maybe I could do that. Make a pot of chili over the weekend, right? And then make some cornbread with it. Me and the boys love cornbread. And I tell you, the last time I made cornbread, we ate the entire pan of cornbread. Meanwhile, all 3 of us are sitting there, man, I love cornbread so much. I mean, well, all 3 of us, I mean me. But Peyton was like, hey, Mom, next time you make cornbread, can you make like 2 boxes of it? Because I used to use the Jiffy, I almost said Jiffy Lube. Not Jiffy Lube. The Jiffy cornbread mix. Because it's got all the stuff in it already. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to try to get one more stitch. No, I'm not doing that. But I just used the Jiffy corn muffin box, the white and blue one. And next time I make it, I'll probably add something in it, like a can of chopped green chilies or can of chopped green chilies or like some jalapeno or something. Oh, maybe I'll do a box of a box of regular and then a box of the jalapeno cornbread with cheddar or something. Lachlan's not huge on the spicy food, so I don't want to make the entire thing like spicy with jalapeno, and then he doesn't want to eat it. But yeah, maybe I'll do a pot of chili with some cornbread one night. And then the leftover chili, I can do like chili dogs, chili cheese dogs. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Or I could do baked potato with the chili on it and just make it like, do like a potato bar. Or maybe I'll do the chili dogs and maybe I'll do a potato bar like on a different night and do like, not potato bar, but like do baked potatoes with like barbecue chicken and like stuff to go on it, like cheese and green onions and sour cream and whatnot. Because that can fill you up. Doing a baked potato with a bunch of stuff in it, that fills you up good. Unless they're small potatoes and you need two. What else? I should probably make Lachlan cook one night. Maybe I'll pick, he has a cookbook that's geared towards like amateur, like not kids books, like kids cookbooks are like, oh, here's how to scramble an egg, here's how to make toast, and he's past that. So he's got like this almost like a cookbook for teenagers where it's like simple recipes but more complex than how to scramble an egg kind of thing. Maybe I'll look through it and I'll pick something out that I want him to make. That's what I'll do. And then I can make him make dinner. Because he loves to get in the kitchen. He wants to help every night. And most of the time I let him. But sometimes I'm just like, please just let me do this. Because I just want to get it done. Ooh, you know something that I have not made in a while for them is the breaded pork chops with the mushroom rice. I might do that. It's really good. I remember when my mom used to make it when I was a kid. I didn't like pork chops, but I loved the rice that she made with it. So I would like avoid the pork chop as much as possible, but I would try to eat as much of the rice as she would let me. But you bread pork chops. So dust them with flour and dip them in the egg. Like mix up, so you got your flour, your egg, and then you have breadcrumbs. And you dust them with the flour, dip them in the egg, and then coat them with breadcrumbs. It's best if you use like the pork chops that are kind of thicker with the bone in. Because then you can be like my mom and you can gnaw on the bone when you're done. She used to do that. Just gnaw on the bone when she was done. Anyway, so you fry the pork chops up in some oil, right? And you don't worry about cooking them all the way because they're going to finish off in the oven. hang on, let me let my thread dangle. So it's twisted. You're just browning the pork chops in oil. Like you're not worried about cooking them. And so just like maybe, depending on how hot your oil is, it should be pretty hot, but like what, 2-3 minutes on each side just to get them browned. And in a casserole dish, you mix, I usually use, like when I cook rice, I cook regular rice that cooks in like 20 minutes, but certain recipes I use minute rice. This is one of those recipes. You get 2 cans. I think you can, I do 2 cans. You get 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, okay? And in the casserole dish, you put both of those cans of cream of mushroom soup in. And then you take that can, and I have to do it like this because whenever I try to describe it, people get all confused, like, what? Cans of rice and cans of milk? You take the empty can of cream of mushroom soup, and you fill it up with milk and pour it in. And you do that 2 times. So you have essentially 2 cans of milk. And then you take that empty can and you fill it up with rice. And you dump it in. And you do that 2 times. So you have 2 cans of soup, 2 cans of milk, 2 cans of rice. And then you melt a stick of butter. I never said my recipes were the healthiest. You melt a stick of butter and you pour it in. And then you mix all that together. And then you put your uncooked brown pork chops on top, and you bake it at I think it's 375. I always forget the temperatures. I think it's 370. It's either, whoops, hang on. Let me catch myself up here. There we go. Okay. I think it's 375 for about 20-25 minutes until the rice is done. Like when the rice is cooked through, because you know the pork chops partially cook in the pan, they're just not fully cooked in the center. But by the time you put them in the oven and they bake for 20 minutes at 375, 20-25 minutes, they're done. Of course, you can always check with the meat thermometer to make sure they're at the right temperature, which I think is 165. I don't know. I haven't made that for them in probably since last year. I might do that one night. Lachlan loves practicing his breading technique, and he definitely needs the practice, but because he's not the greatest at it. He knows what to do. He just isn't the greatest at actually doing it. But anyway. But yeah, I might do that. What else could I do? This little guy's turning out cute, huh? So I'm doing chili. Probably do the barbecue chicken on baked potatoes with some cheese and sour cream. Let me just pull these down a little bit because I'm working down. Let me think of what else I could do. Jesus, sorry. It's a lot of yellow in this, as you can see. You know what? Let's do this orange. What's this orange color around the edge? 741. So chili. Oh, chili dogs, the leftovers. That's just not my thread. There we go. Chili dogs. Barbecue chicken, baked potatoes. Pork chops with mushroom rice. It's 4. Need a couple more. Oh yeah, I was gonna find a recipe in Lachlan's cookbook for him to make. Sorry. So we'll do a Lachlan meal one night. And I have to come up with something else. I don't know. Oh yeah, rice broccoli casserole. Because we did not, I got the stuff to make it, but we did not make it. So I'll probably go ahead and do that. Unless I make it for myself this week. We did the $5 sushi instead. So I was gonna get chicken for the chicken parmesan and then also chicken for the rice broccoli casserole. Did I tell you guys how to make the rice broccoli casserole? I think I did. Yeah, pretty sure I did in the last stitch with me. And then you just add chicken to it to make it a whole meal. Oops. Knocked my needle out there. And I have tortillas and tostada shells. I could make tostadas again. But maybe like, I saw somebody post online that they made barbecue chicken. I'm doing barbecue chicken and the potatoes though. But barbecue chicken tostadas where you top the tostada shell with the barbecue chicken and then cover it in cheese. The boys would like that. Lachlan would especially like it because there's like no beans in it. Because, you know, he doesn't like beans. I think he's slowly, ever so slowly getting over it though, because I feel like he ate the beans when I made that ginormous pot of the Texas Cowboy stew. I don't know if he picked the beans out or not. Because I told him, I said, when I make something, I was like, I ain't picking beans out for you. You're going to have to pick them out yourself. I had to do that when I was a kid. My mom used to make this vegetable stew. It's kind of like beef stew, but it had a bunch of veggies in it, so it wasn't really like beef stew. Oh, I haven't made beef stew in forever. Ooh. She would put lima beans in it, and I freaking hate lima beans. Always have, always will. I hate lima beans. And she would put lima beans in it, and I would have to pick them out myself. And I kid you not, I could put like a spoonful of food in my mouth, chew everything in it. And I could feel the lima bean, and I would tuck it off to the side like a little chipmunk, chew everything and swallow, and then spit the lima bean into a napkin. I despise lima beans. They're just... And I even tried them again as an adult. Somebody that I used to work with, they had made lima beans, and they're like, oh my God, they're so good. Even people who don't like them like these. And I'm like, okay, I can be an adult and I can try them again. And I tried them, and I did not like them. I think it's a texture thing. I don't know, because I mean, beans mostly have, a lot of beans have the same texture, so I don't know what it is about lima beans in particular that I just do not like. I think I'm going to make the boys breakfast this Sunday. Usually if I wake up too late, I'm like, just fend for yourselves for breakfast. But I think when I make the boys, I don't do it on Saturdays because their grandpa comes and picks them up on Saturday mornings and takes them out to eat, and then does something with them. Am I getting out of camera? Takes them out to eat and does stuff with them. But I'll make sometimes I make breakfast on Sunday mornings. And I think I'm going to do... Lachlan's been begging for Eggs Benedict. I guess I could do that. I'm going to cheat and get the packet to make hollandaise sauce. I ain't making it from scratch. First of all, I don't really know how to. I mean, I've seen them do it on TV. Like, I know the idea behind it. But that's a lot of work. When they sell packets that you just mix some water and then bam, you got hollandaise sauce. But, I don't know. I'll see if I can find an easy recipe for hollandaise sauce, and I might make it from scratch. And I got to practice my egg poaching skills. I don't poach eggs. My kids think I can make anything in the world, and I'm like, really? I can't. There's things that I can do very well, and there's things that I know what to do. I've just never actually done it. Like, I know what to do to make poached eggs. I've just never actually poached an egg. But oh my God, he is always begging for Eggs Benedict. I'm not sure what his obsession with it is, because if we go to a restaurant for breakfast, does he order Eggs Benedict? No, he does not. So, not really sure what the deal is with that. So, I might go ahead and just cave and make him some Eggs Benedict, and I'll do my breakfast potatoes. I love my potatoes. They're so good. Dice up some potatoes and some onion, and heat up some oil in a pan. Sometimes I do a combination of oil and a little bit of butter. 5. And throw the potatoes and the onions in there. And then you season them with salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and I know there's onion in it, but it's different. Garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. And then I cover them, and I just I mix it all up, and then I cover them up, and I just let them cook. And I stir occasionally so that they don't stick to the pan. And typically by the time you're done with your other stuff, the potatoes are done. But especially if you cover them up, like my mom will, if she's making a lot, if she's making them for like a lot of people, like when we have the whole family over, she just pre-cooks the potatoes in the microwave and then dices them up, and then she just has to let them brown up in the pan. But I just cover them with a lid, because it traps the steam, the heat, and they kind of cook a little bit faster. So, but yeah, typically by the time your other stuff is done, the potatoes are done. They typically, when I cook them like that, they take maybe 15, 20 minutes, if that. If that. Let me go back to this yellow. There's a lot of yellow in this piece. So Eggs Benedict, breakfast potatoes. Bacon. God, no, I can't see. There we go. Yeah. Get some orange juice. Oh, maybe I can find like, maybe I'll make myself some mimosas. Oh my God, my kids would never let me live that down if I did that. If I made mimosas at home and was drinking in the morning, oh my dear God, I would be hearing about that until the end of time. Damn it. Now I have a knot. Oh my God, screw it. You're gonna have to listen to the... Yeah, I'm not getting that out. You're just gonna have to hear the popping when it goes through. Oh, let's see. So my lease is up in May. And they always increase it by my rent by about, I don't know, $50 a year. I mean, every place does it. So I was mapping out how much my lease would probably end up being if I signed on, because they increase it by $50, but if you extend your lease, they decrease, give you a discount or whatever, which probably honestly works out to the exact same price. It's just extended out by another month. But anyway, here's how I started getting the idea about it. So I was thinking about moving. I've been kind of stuck in a way where I currently am, because I am the sole income, right? I'm the only one who has a job here. Well, I'm the only adult, so even when Peyton gets a job, I'm not going to, Peyton, okay, so side note, Peyton, my 13-year-old, he keeps talking about wanting to get a job. He was like, Mom, if I get a job, are you going to make me, pay rent? Like, not when you're 14. Because he really wants to get a job when he turns 14. I'm like, really? You want to start working that young? But anyway. So I haven't really been able to move because I can afford my rent right now. And when you look at houses and apartments everywhere, it's a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, I'm talking it's been when you would look online, you would see 2-bedroom apartments going for $2,500 a month. Same with the houses. The houses were upwards of close to between $2,500 and $3,000 a month. And I'm like, who the hell can afford to live on their own? No wonder the adults that are in their 20s and stuff, no wonder they have to move back in with their parents. This is ridiculous, right? So anyway, I've been kind of stuck where I'm at because frankly, I couldn't afford to move anywhere else because the rent's too high everywhere and I make too much money for income restricted housing where the rent is cheaper. I make too much money for that. I'm like, don't they have they should have single income apartments, places to live. I mean, it's like they expect people who want 3 or 4 bedrooms to have 2 incomes to pay this. So anyway, I'm on my way to pick up the boys one day. This was a few weeks, maybe beginning of the month. And they're building these apartments off of 301, which is one of the main highways that kind of run through our area. They're building these apartments. I mean, literally, you could probably spit from the right-hand lane of 301 and hit the building. I mean, it's ridiculous. The only thing between the road and the building is a sidewalk. So I really hope that they put one-way glass in the windows. But I was curious how much these yahoos were going to be charging. So I was trying to look them up online. And of course, what does it say? Contact us for pricing. No, I'm not going to contact you because all you want is my information. And typically I find that when they say contact us for pricing on any other place, it's a ridiculous amount that you have to be super rich to afford. So then I just started looking at places in general, and I had found this apartment that was 3 bedrooms. Their 3 bedrooms were going to be about what my rent was going to go up to if I re-signed my lease. So we were thinking about moving over there. So me and the boys, we waited a few weeks. We went and looked at the apartments, and the lowest 3-bedroom was in that price range of what I thought my rent was going to go up to. And the highest 3-bedroom was maybe about a few $100s more. And it was, of course, nicer. It was upgraded with no carpet and blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, well, maybe we can move there. And then I was like, well, maybe some other apartments are coming down in their pricing. So I started looking at different apartments, and I was showing the boys, I said, look, this is why we haven't moved before, because I was showing them some of the apartments are still, they had a 4-bedroom for $4,000 at one of these places. I'm like, what the hell? $4,000 a month for an apartment in Florida? Come on. So anyway, Peyton happened to mention, man, you may as well go ahead and be renting a house for that money. And then me and him just stopped and looked at each other. He was like, can we look at what houses are for rent? I was like, yeah, sure. So I pull up Zillow. And I actually started finding some houses that were in my price range. So I have to wait until like March because this is still too early because I can't move until May. So I have to wait until probably at least March, mid-March maybe. But I'm thinking about moving into, if I have options now at least. Like it's not just, oh, I gotta, this is the only place I can move to. At least I have options. So I did see a 4-bedroom that was in my price range. And I'm like, ooh, then I would have a craft room. But if anything, I would at least be able to get into a 3-bedroom house. So the boys would have their own rooms. That would be so nice. And I told them, I said, unless something happens and I actually buy a house or something, I said, we'll probably move. And unless they sell the house out from under us, we'll probably stay there until you guys graduate. Unless I find a better offer. I'm getting a little bit more realistic. I used to be like, no, I'm moving every year. I'm a little bit more realistic now about that. So, anywho, it's about an hour. I got 210 stitches in on this little guy. Isn't he cute? So, yeah, might be moving in a few months. We'll see. I kind of hope so. I'm tired of living here with my tub-thumping neighbors upstairs. All right, that's all I got. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. And, yeah, so take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.